Welcome to SIRA MCQ YouTube channel. Today we discuss advanced level A-level accounting paper question number 26. Look here, this is the question. We must firstly focus to the requirement. Requirement is there. Look here, the basic salary. You know there is a employee, they have a net gross salary. The gross salary may be calculated both basic salary and what are they? Allowances. Basic salary plus allowances, we can calculate gross salary. This is they want basic salary and the total deductions of employees for the month ending 30/6/2025. 6 means June, 30th June 2025. You must identify basic salary and total deductions of employee. Look here, this is the question. This is the salary sheet related question. Therefore, I prepared salary sheet, the draft of salary sheet. Look here, this is the salary sheet. This is the draft one. Okay, look here, you know, firstly we identify name or number, index number of the employee. After that we identify basic salary. This is the requirement. Okay, basic salary. After that we add so many allowances. Therefore I add, there is a space, there is allowances. After the adding, the accumulating these basic salary plus allowances, we can identify what is that gross salary. After that, you know, there are so many deductions there. Therefore I identify deductions. There are so many deductions there. There are 2 or more deductions. Okay, after that I identify 4 deductions. No, 4 deductions. After that, you know, we identify total deduction column. This is the total deductions. Okay, after that we identified net salary. This is net salary. After that we identify what are they, EPF and ETF. ETF, you know, ETF is 3%, EPF is 15% or 12%. In this question we can identify there is an employer contribution, the large portion. Okay, look here, 10% and 15%. EPF 10% and 15%. Therefore this is the 15%. There is a deduction, you know, EPF 10% should be deduction, employee contribution. Okay, this is the process of the salary sheet. Look here, what is the flow? Basic salary must be firstly identified. After that we add allowances. We can calculate gross salary. After that there are so many deductions. Major one is 10% EPF. After that we identify total deductions. After that we identify net salary. The last one is this one, EPF 15% means employer contribution. Why employer contribution? Means the business contribution. ETF contribution is 3%. Therefore I identify this is the flow of the salary sheet. After that we identify what are the basic salary should be identified as answer and total deductions should be identified as the answer. Total deduction. This is the first one. This is the first one of the salary sheet, but this is the total deductions is there. Total deduction is middle of the salary sheet. We enter knowing the supplied information to this question. Look here, this is the top of the question. The payroll of the company has been destroyed. Payroll means the salary sheet. Okay, payroll means salary related information. Okay, destroyed completely due to the floods. There is a flood is there in the business, therefore the payroll is totally damaged, destroyed. Hence the company was able to obtain only following information for the month ending 30th June 2025. Therefore there are not all information but they find, hence the company was able to obtain only following information for the month ending 30th June 2025. What are they find? Look here, the total amount remitted. Look here, total amount remitted means paid. Okay, remitted means paid for both look here, both employee provident fund EPF and employee trust fund ETF relevant for the month of June 2025 was 168,000. This is the major point we identify. Therefore, please allocate this separately. Okay, look here, what is the second one? The total cost of living allowances, there is allowances of an employee for the month of June 2025 was 120. The total cost of living allowances, there is allowances to add salary sheet, this to add gross salary 120. This is only allowance received by the employee. Therefore we can identify employee allowance as 120,000. 120. There is allowance is there, allowances, there is one allowances is 120. This is 1001. Look here, only one allowance. Third one, look here, total subscription for the welfare society deducted. There is a deduction from employees' salary for the month of June. There is a June month was 40,000. Therefore there is a welfare society deduction. There is a deduction 40. We can identify welfare society, welfare. Therefore we can identify deduction as a 40, welfare deduction. Okay, after that we can identify the next one, the employer and employee. Employer means business, employee means employee. Okay, employee means this is the employee, employer means this is the business. Okay, employer and employee contribution ETF 15% and 10% respectively. You know that you know that the employer contribution to ETF is 3%. You know it. Look here, EPF and ETF contributions are calculated based on gross salary of the employee. In that time there is no information related to this salary sheet, only they provided there is allowances and there is a one deduction. After that we can find some information. Look here, so only value is there. Look here, this is allocated one, total amount remitted, paid, both employee provident fund and employee trust fund relevant for the month of June 168. Look here, 168 paid, the remitted, paid EPF and ETF was what is the amount? 168,000. This is the total EPF paid and total ETF paid. You know what are the percentage of that? The EPF, there is two EPFs, the 10% EPF and 15%, both of them we must pay. Okay, the ETF is 3%. You know that the 168 means 168,000 means 10%, 15% of EPF. There is a EPF, there is EPF, and there is a ETF, 3%. There is a 3 paid amount is there, 168,000. Therefore, we can identify 10 plus 15 plus 3. Look here, there is 100 is there, 100 is there. The total portions of 10, portion of 15, total of portion of 3 is 18,000. 18. The total paid was, this is the 100 is, what is the 100? Gross salary. Why? Gross salary. Gross salary. Why I said that? Look here, there's a question said finally they calculate EPF and ETF based on gross salary. Look here, the basement is gross salary. Look here, EPF, ETF contribution are calculated based on gross salary. The basement is gross salary. Therefore, we can identify there is a gross salary is 100. There is a gross salary, there is a gross salary, there is a gross salary. After that, you can identify gross salary is 100. The 18% is 168. Why? This one, there is 3 persons are paid for the government. This is 18% was paid. Therefore, how can we identify the 100? The 168,000 is 18. Total paid. This is the total paid small person. This is the large person. Total paid amount of large person. Total paid amount of small person is 18. Therefore, I deduct 18. What is the requirement is 100 gross salary. Therefore, I multiplied 100. We can identify the answer calculator. One 168 divided in 18 multiplied by 100, answer is 168,000. This is accumulating is wrong. Why? 10%, 15% and 3%. 10, 15, 25. There is a 28, no? 28, no? There is a 28. Okay. Why? The 10 multiplied to 15 is 25. 25 plus 3 is 28. There is, you must be divided in 28. The 20 is total paid. Okay. Let's go to calculator. Okay, let's see. 168 divided by 28 multiplied by 100, answer is 600,000. This is the gross salary. Therefore, 600,000 can be included to this way. 600,000 is gross salary is there 600. You know basic salary addition, basic salary plus allowances means gross salary. Therefore there's a both of gross salary and allowances accumulating. After that we can find gross salary. Therefore 600 deduct 120 is 480. 480 plus 120 is 600. Therefore we can find the all percentage. There is no deductions. 10% identify based on gross salary. 600 to 10% is 60. Therefore after that the total deductions are 60 and 40 is 100. There is 100. What is the net salary? 600 minus 100, 500. What is the 15%? 15% calculate based on 600. 600 means gross salary. 600 into 15%. This is calculated 600 into 15%. 15% means 60, 90. 3% 18. 600 is the basement. After that, based on 600 we can identify following information. What's the requirement? Total deduction is 100. Basic salary is there. Basic salary is 480. Okay, this is the answers we can identify. Basic salary is 480. Total deduction are 100. Answer is 2 for question number 26. Answer is 2. Question number 26. Therefore we can identify the 26 question. This is related to theory part. Therefore we meet question number 27 in next video.